Good morning, my friends. So today is another interesting day here in the. Try to keep it positive. So I think a rosy, nice name for this. We'll call it the AI art hellscape. Well, that's uplifting. So today, well, yesterday I found out about this, but I've had time to process this. But yesterday, someone on the Discord sent me this article, and you would read this headline and you would say to yourself, well, that's awesome. Well, it's actually, I am sad to report, all the rainbows on this mug cannot make it awesome. So this is what's happening. Let me see if I can break this down in some bullet points for you. So essentially what this headline should say is Deviant Art betrays entire community by using their artwork to create proprietary AI portal. That's what it should say. But instead, this author, Kyle Wiggers, no comment on the name, decided that this was the angle. And what this angle is talking about, and we were not going to give it too much time because it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And yesterday when I was reading this, I kind of had a little bit more of a positive bent on it. And then as the night goes on, you do more research and you learn more, and then you go, it's not. I'm sorry, guys, it's just not that thing. So what this headline is referring to is that on DeviantArt now, when you post a new piece of art, and I think you can also go back to your old pieces of art, there's a little box you can check. You can check this little box. And when you check that little box, it says, please don't share my artwork with third-party data sets for AI. And again, an initial inspection, you might go, well, that's freaking awesome, right? What's the problem, Dan? You're always so gosh darn negative. I didn't want to be, but they didn't really give me a choice because all that does is the magic checkbox. Check the magic box. I'm not talking about Twitter checkbox. I'm talking about DeviantArt check the box. When you check the box, all it does is encode a tiny little piece of HTML in the metadata that says that basically you don't want your artwork used for third-party AI data training. Now, I know nobody thinks that that's going to stop anybody. Really? It's not a hand grenade. It's not a virus. It's not cyber worm. It's literally an easily ignorable piece of HTML code that says, please, sir, no, it's mine. It's my special thing. Please don't take it. And nobody gives a shit. Well, I give a shit. And most of the art community give a shit. But the people who are stealing your artwork and using it to train AI data, to say they don't give a shit, I think is putting it nicely, because I think we all know and we've seen from the conversations that we've all engaged in that they actually have rationalized an entitlement to everybody's artwork. They say, fair use, it's fair use. We literally are allowed to take everybody's artwork off every corner of the internet because of fair use. And they're citing the fair use law. We talked about it very briefly last week. It's the law enacted in 1967 when computers basically didn't really exist and people were bell bottoms, that they are citing to rationalize this. Now, not everybody who's an AI art user and is a bad, malicious person. There's all kinds of people out there, and some AI art users get it. And they're like, yeah, I understand this is, a little fraught with ethical stuff. And that's not what we're talking about today, because that's a much bigger conversation that isn't going away. But what we're talking about today is DeviantArt's little checkbox that embeds HTML into the metadata that says, please don't train my art for your third-party data, AI data. And when taken out of the context of what's really happening with DeviantArt's betrayal of their art community by, incorporating their own AI art portal that uses your artwork already, like they've taken it all, it's a very positive thing. You think like, okay, but then when you look at it in the context of everything, all it sounds like to me is that they don't give a shit about your artwork, protecting your artwork. They just think that this is like a win-win-win for them because it might keep people from taking your artwork for the third party AI data, but that just means that they get to have more exclusive data for their new AI data training tool, or sorry, data AI art tool. And it's not free. They're selling it. It's subscription. It's like $4 a month. Granted, that's not a lot of money. Doesn't matter. They're selling it. They're going to make money off this. And it's pretty grimy. So when you look at the whole thing in its totality, it's pretty disgusting. So I probably spent way too much time on the magic checkbox, but I just wanted to explain how flaccid and limp that mechanism it is and how self-serving it is. It has nothing to do with the fact that they give a shit about your artwork. They just want to try to keep other people from getting it. They're like Smog on his pile of gold, right? They're like, this is my gold, right? Now, we can't necessarily prevent people from sneaking in and stealing it, but we can do this. And at the same time, like maybe somebody would listen to the little meta tag in there, but they can attempt to create a sense that they give a shit, right? So it's a win-win, right? Maybe some people won't take it, which means that our AI data is more exclusive for us. Well, spoiler alert, Deviant Art. Lion 5B dataset is literally full of everything on DeviantArt. It is super easy for them to scrape your data. It's a day late and $1 short, and all you're doing with this is alienating 90% of your art community that are either going to delete their accounts or just not post there anymore. To the people who are thinking of deleting their accounts, I'm not sure it even makes a difference. I think it could be helpful for third-party data sets that are now getting on there, but in terms of DeviantArt's AI tool, it doesn't matter. They've already trained your artwork. There's no untraining it. So I think the value of people who want to, delete their DeviantArt account, I think it's valuable because I'm not really a big fan of DeviantArt, but I think it's valuable because if a lot of people do that, it sends a very clear message. Now, do they give a shit? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, if they actually gave a shit, all they had to do was a few weeks ago or a month ago or whenever they in their little boardroom and they're all sitting there going, how can we make some money? And somebody said, well, why don't we use all of our art to make our own AI tool? And somebody said, that's a great idea and we can sell it. And they all started going, blah, 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 blah. If just one voice in that room said, yeah, I don't think that's going to go down great with the community. I think we need to do this the right way. And I've been reading online and I'm paying attention to the basic pulse and the vibe of the way things are going. And I think what we should do is use an opt-in model where we're going to let everybody know, everyone's getting an email. We're going to put it on the homepage. We're going to say, we are creating an AI portal for art. And if you would like to have your artwork included in the training set, you can go here and you can click this checkbox that says opt-in. Otherwise, we will not use it. And if you do opt in, maybe they have an incentive for you. Maybe they give you free credits for their tool, right? It doesn't cost them anything to do that. And that, while I think still met with some like a little bit of negativity, that would at least show good intention. So they didn't do that. They pretty much just dropped this on everybody, thinking that this little checkbox thing that they rolled out would somehow balance that out. It's incredibly tone deaf, and it's honestly it's kind of ridiculous. So that's kind of where we're at with DeviantArt. Let's just take a fun little moment and let's take a look at their post on Instagram and just because you can hear my opinion on it. I'm apparently, according to one commenter, I am a hateful monologuist. And I'm not going to lie, that has there's a certain flow it's kind of like that. It's nice. But I'm not a hateful monologuist. I like to think I call it like it is. And in a way, I embody what many people are thinking. That's why I'm here for you guys. So let's see what DeviantArt had to say. And then let's look in the comments so you don't have to take my word for it. Let's see what everybody else thinks. So DeviantArt says, with DreamUp, DeviantArt's new AI art generator, you can create images of nearly anything that you can dream up. You see, that's where they got the name. It's clever. Anything you can dream up from a prompt you craft. Craft, huh? Okay. Join the challenge to dream up your very own llama. Here are a few to get you started. Make sure you tag us in yours. So let's see what the people have to say. Says, you were doing so good during the NFT scandal. I think that's sarcasm. And then there's a sigh. I think that's pretty mild. That's a nice way to put it. This person says, default should be set to opt out, not opt in. This person there's crying. This person is crying. Says, I just can't believe it. This person says, me neither. I've always enjoyed my time on DeviantArt. I also had a lot of nice interactions. And now I'm sitting here thinking about deleting my account, aka everything, at the end of this weekend. Well, near YC. While I get that, I don't know if it's going to do anything, as I said. They still have it trained, but as I said, if enough people delete their accounts, it will send a clear message. And it really is a shame. It's wonderful to create something and then put it out in the world and see how people like it, how people respond to it. Does it resonate with people? Do they appreciate it? That's a really great feeling, but we're going to apparently, moving into this new world, that's going to be something that we have to seriously think about. And that's very sad. This person gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pukey faces. I would give it at least 7 pukey faces. This person says, guess it's a good thing I left the site a while ago. Now this site is AI art. Meh. Leaving. Bye. Says, okay, I'm really going to delete my art on DA. LOL. No. Bye. Not going to support AI stealing from real artists. This person just says boycott AI. Like that. DeviantArt now has its own AI art generator. Now I've seen everything, shaking my head. This person put it very eloquently. There's prompt crafting is one thing, but communication is important. And this person put it in a very beautiful way. And it says, from my deepest heart, fuck you. Well done. Holy shit, this is ridiculous. Well, that's it. Deleting my account right now. The default should be it should be opt-in. These people are getting it backwards, I imagine. I think we all understand where that's coming from. I mean, this is pretty much what it is. So you are aware you're pushing away true artists. You had a chance to be relevant and you chose to let them down once again. You're allowing artists to have their art stolen by some stupid AI. And they're like, no, it's not some stupid AI. It's our AI. And it's available for $4 a month. I mean, it seems like right now it's free. In the article that we were looking at before, it did say it was going to be $3.95 a month. So we'll just wait and see. It doesn't matter. Yep. You were doing so good. Should be this. Deleting my... All right. So the default should be set to opt out. Right? Not having to opt in. It's a little confusing, the language, but basically everybody's saying the same thing. You should just literally have to manually say it's okay to take your shit. They didn't do it. This person, I just can't believe it. Just thought of giving it to AI is extremely insulting. Guess it's a good thing. Not going to support this. Who is for this? So your business model is now let's steal from artists that made us a platform for the last 30 years. Yeah, pretty much. That's what it is. I mean, this is what we got here. People not happy. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. Yeah, I mean, great job, DeviantArt. Could you imagine if ArtStation did this? What would the users on ArtStation think? Already, I mean, that's a little bit of a, we would say like a little more professional art community. I think it's fair to say. I think people would be absolutely outraged. The plot twist, again, is that ArtStation, DeviantArt have already had their assets completely pillaged to no end with these data sets that have been being aggregated for a little while now. So it's just like death by 1,000 cuts. And I've been really wanting to put a positive spin on these things. There's really nothing here. I mean, other than this like opt out of third party check mark bullshit, which again, yesterday I was really like, oh, this is good. This is a good thing. And then I saw it in the entire context and I'm like, that's just so lame. I think that's a good place to end this. I got some other videos coming up. We're going to talk about Shutterstock and Getty Images. That's an interesting mix there, and there is a little bit of positivity in that video, surprisingly. We got some other things to talk about. I got something really cool I want to talk about. It's called the Disgorger. That's gonna come out. Those two videos will drop later today. I recorded them yesterday, but I just wanted to re-record the Deviant Art aspect with a fresh morning rainbow cup perspective. So I'm going to leave my general disclaimer here at the end. I'm going to try to say this quickly because I've been fucking rambling like a jackass for a while. If you're an artist and you are feeling overwhelmed by this just ridiculous tidal wave of low skill, easily generated content, and you're thinking about giving up, or you're just wondering what the point is, I cannot remind you enough that the point of making art is to make art, right? Not to show it to people, not to share it to people. It's the process of making art, right? When you sit down and you create something, your brainwaves change. It's like a meditation, and that is very good for you. And it helps your motor control, it helps your mental health. And even if you don't feel like you should be sharing it, or Instagram algorithm doesn't show your art to anybody anymore, I mean, that's another conversation. We all know that's just trash now. It has value, and you got to keep doing it because we don't know what's going to happen in all this. There was the class action lawsuit. Things are changing every day, and I know it seems like there's more and more like bad stuff. There is good stuff. There is good stuff, and you creating is part of that good stuff because the journey is always the destination, and we can't forget that. And if you just quit making art, then they kind of have already won, and I don't think that that's the right move. So I'm going to leave this one here for now. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the wars to come.